It's Cluzel at the front, Odendaal with the slipstream. This is the best opportunity he's had to win. This is a pass from Manuel Gonzalez for third, but it's all about the top two. Odendaal is through. Steven Odendaal hits the front. He could be set to pick up 25 championship points.
In yesterday's race, it was on the last lap Jules Cluzel set the new lap record. He's going to need to do something similar in this one. Caricasulo down the inside of Gonzalez into turn 3. He takes over that podium spot.
Federico Caricasulo hasn't been on the podium since Portimao 2019, so 2 years since Caricasulo's last podium. It was also his last race win in the category. It's not going to be a victory here today, barring drama at the head of the field, because Steven Odendaal is beginning to stretch his legs now. 0.4 of a second up on Jules Cluzel, who looks set to be denied a double victory. Dominic Egerton benefiting from a race of attrition in the latter stages, has gained 2 places, but that's the most he's going to be able to do. And Egerton will round out the top 5. It's all about this lead quartet in the closing 2 or so kilometres of this Algarve International Circuit. Odendaal looking comfortable though.
Yeah, Odendaal doing a great job here in the last lap. He stretched out 0.4 of a second on Cluzel, so that's a good margin heading into the final sector. It looks like he's got enough in hand. Caricasulo, though, he doesn't have enough in hand. Manuel Gonzalez is going to be able to attack him. It's just whether or not it's into turn 13.
Big moment from Federico Caricasulo through turn 10. He managed to stick it out on the inside line and keep Gonzalez behind him. Again, he's defending the apex valiantly here is Federico Caricasulo, and that should be just enough. They come now into the final sector. Caricasulo taking a wide sweeping line to hook it up coming off the final bend. It's going to be a race through turn 15 and towards the finish. Cluzel has made back 0.3 of a second on Steven Odendaal, so it's going to be a very close run to the line between our podium trio. Steven Odendaal versus Jules Cluzel. Cluzel ducks out of the slipstream. It's going to be very close between the two of them. Steven Odendaal, I think, has just held on, and Steven Odendaal will claim his 5th victory in the Supersport World Championship, but by just 11 thousandths of a second ahead of Jules Cluzel.
Yeah, really good stuff there from Steven Odendaal to hold on to that one, and important for the championship for him.
And Kevin Manfredi will come across the line in 11th position to secure the points he needs to take the Supersport Challenge in this 2021 campaign. What a relief that's going to be for Manfredi.
Yeah, it is one of those achievements that does matter a lot to the rider and the team. Gives them something to be able to sell to their sponsors for next year as well. So really good stuff from Kevin Manfredi through the season. We've seen him a regular point scorer through the course of this year, and it's a good reward for him in the sport.
And Caricasulo's not going to be too bothered about losing that, because he's got his first podium for 2 years, so he's got something to celebrate this afternoon.
I don't think Caricasulo would have been too bothered about it in the first place.
I think he knew about it.
that would be an interesting one to ask him. But this is the final lap. This is the final corner. Cluzel just beaten out by 11 thousandths of a second. You can see how close that is. But for Steven Odendaal, really good last lap, and he was able to win that race in the first half of that lap. Really fast and aggressive on that lap. Did a great job, and he's able to pick up the race victory. And that's a very important 25 points for him, because at least it gives him a little bit of momentum once again.
First podium since race 1 in Manicourt. First race victory since race 1 in Most. His 5th of this 2021 campaign. Remember, 3 of them were in the first 3 races of this season. So it's been a barren spell for Steven Odendaal, who hadn't even had a top 5 finish since that race 1 podium in Manicourt, let alone a race victory. Really has come on strong today.
Yeah, and for Odendaal, he was strong in yesterday's race as well, and it was such a combative race over both races really this weekend. We saw a big group of 7-8 riders all the way through, and then it would gradually splinter out, and we saw how tough it was by virtue of the fact on that last lap we saw, or the penultimate lap, we saw Dominic Aguilar run wide at turn 1. Looked like he might have ran through one of those puddles on the entry into one, trying to outbrake Nicky Tuvi.